Hey everybody, welcome to Sherman Wealth Weekly Snaps for October 23rd. What a week it has been. Every day we have a stimulus package, we don't have a stimulus package. The markets seem to be reacting quite erratically depending on what Pelosi, Mnuchin, McConnell, all these guys, Trump and gals have said. So we're following that story closely. Earnings season really kicked off this week. Next week is the real monster week with the four horsemen of tech reporting next Thursday with Apple, Amazon, Facebook, and Microsoft. This week we had Tesla, Chipotle, we had Snapchat really describing how strong the ad business is in the social media space. So we'll see if that's from people leaving Facebook, Instagram, and some of these others. We had antitrust lawsuit against Google this week, which was very interesting. At the heart of that is the iPhone search, which the new iPhone just came out this week, and we're interested to hear and read about the reviews there, as we've always upgraded every year. We also had Bitcoin's relevancy really substantiated this week as PayPal has agreed to allow Bitcoin purchases as well as things being bought and sold on the PayPal marketplace using Bitcoin. So that follows Square's announcement a few weeks ago of their investment in Bitcoin. We had JP Morgan kind of going after Square, speaking of Square this week, and announcing a new swipe reader to compete with Square Pay and all that fun stuff that they have. We also are seeing, as virus cases mount to the highest that they've been since the beginning. We also saw 1 million passengers check through TSA for the first time since the pandemic began. So a real dichotomy there, if you will, between rising cases and people flying more. So we'll see how that has an impact. We saw jobless claims lower, but still very high in the $780,000 range. So a lot of data following the stimulus talks. We also had Goldman Sachs settle a dispute on their insider trading case in Malaysia, and that is a lot to unpack for the week. We'll follow these stories and more for you next week. We'll see you next week. We have a lot of earnings reports and other data. We're 11 days away from the election, and we'll see how that has impacts on markets, and we'll follow along. Also, one thing to point out, housing demand stronger than ever. We saw an uptick in rates this week, which is kind of against what everyone else is reporting. We saw the 10-year bond increase by about 15 basis points. So if you're in the market and want to refinance, now is really an opportune time to at least get that process started. We know that there is that extra fee that starts December 1, so want to get you guys ahead of that as the market is still exploding, but rates are ticking higher. So have a great weekend. We appreciate you following along. We've published a lot of new blogs this week, which is really exciting too, and have some really important announcements for next week. So check it out. Have a great night. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.